Am I live? Really? I'm live. Okay. So I'm I'm retiring my former favorite again, a Emax Hawk 5, and I'm also replacing the VTX in it because I'm selling it. And this is what I'm replacing it with in my fleet, HGLRC Batman 220. It's a good price. The frame's only $36. The stack's around $100. This one includes the VTX from HGLRC, which I mean couldn't be any worse than the one Emax is selling. And I'm going to install an XM Plus receiver on this, and should be flying whenever I feel like it. I could go fly it now. It's that easy. 3 solders and I'm done. As far as this guy, I've got to disassemble this fucking thing again. I just finished rebuilding it because I broke an arm and fucked up a motor. So I bought a new motor and took it apart, replaced the motor, this motor right here, and replaced the arm. So this is brand new. And I'm selling it as soon as I'm done with this operation. And the operation will consist of this here. I'm replacing the stock VTX, which is garbage, with this VTX 03, which is passable. It's actually very good, actually. Um, so bear with me today. I'm in a kind of a really bad mood because, man, you just cannot imagine how many bad things have happened as far as quads and crashing, and then how many good things have happened as far as uh, earning the money to buy new quads. That's the only reason I'm not mad as hell. Uh, since I last made a video, I've had somebody crashed my beater quad, right? And then I had to replace the motors on it and put it in a new frame. And then I crashed it again. And oh, it was fucking the best quad ever. The rebuild was so good. It had Dark Max motors, which are those DYS 2205 racing motors, 2550 kV. The smoothest, quietest bearings I've ever heard. And I proceeded to crash that on the first day of flight. And when I mean I crashed it, this is one for the record books. This was a D-quad clone. And I turned the D into a B, because what I hit was structural steel in a building's roof brace, I-beam. So I hit that and it was like a car crash or a train wreck. So something's wrong with it because I put it in a new frame and it's no longer, it doesn't work. The frame is shit. It's a Lysom 210. I'll never buy cheap frames. Why? There are good frames out there that cost $50. I've even gotten good frames that cost $20. But the obvious garbage 3mm frames, I mean, pure vibration, it's going to fuck your shit up. Garbage that there's no point in buying because it doesn't work. Is for me, with motors that powerful, I should have known better. You can't put motors that powerful on shitty Jello, cheap, poorly cut carbon fiber, poorly laid up carbon fiber, and a poorly designed frame. You could put 2300 kV motors on there of the right size, a little smaller maybe, But these are big torquey motors. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. So now I'm paying the penalty for that because I got 2 quads over there that I should be selling now. The only thing that's saving me is I've got 2 brand new Emax quads, a Hawk 5 and a Baby Hawk R3. Brand new in the box, never tampered with or anything. So that's the only thing saving me because I'm done with Emax. I found a new spot the other day was so nice. And then get halfway up there to dive the smokestack, and the fucking VTX cuts out completely. Died because it was my fault that I killed it. But this thing was this. It never had any type of performance from the first day I got. Everybody knows the VTX on the Hawk 5 is not good. And with the prices that I see and the VTXs I bought, including the RC Charlent's VX30 and the plain old Ishin VTX03, there's, these things cost less than $20. There's no excuse for Emax doing this unless they're just offloading bad shit on us. It had it in stock. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. That's not fair, but it is fair for me to conclude that I don't want this Hawk 5 anymore. I'm not going to deal with these types of quality control issues and lapses. And the VTX was not good to begin with. If I knew then what I know now, I never would have bought the Hawk 5 to begin with. But you're constantly living and learning. I'm sure, maybe. But right now, it seems like the Batman for a guy like me. I've had a Batman before. I loved it. It is the best quad for diving buildings for me. I can do 6S, 4S, and basically when I'm downtown under pressure, I want to be able to take as many opportunities to try to dive the building as I can. And this Batman is so good at getting to the top of a building in like 2 seconds. It's so much torque up and down the throttle that I found myself getting 3 shots at the dive, where if it was another quad, I'd still be lining it up because it's not enough power to just, with the Batman, there's enough power to, if you can see the building, point it at the building at the top and hit the throttle, and you'll be there in 2 or 3 seconds. You know what I mean? Any other quad, that's just not the case. It's almost like there's no dynamics to it at all. It's just linear, just go right on up. So I have fun diving buildings with this thing, and I can't wait to dive this smokestack I just found with this thing. Trying to do it with the Hawk 5, it's hard. It doesn't agree with that type of hard charging for no reason. It's the Hawk 5 is better at skimming the ground fast. It's better at racing. That's all I found that it was good at, was flying really fast and low to the ground. But it's not good at diving buildings in particular. Not that you can't do it, but when you're under pressure in a downtown situation and you have to move for traffic or this whatever. I was diving buildings between the stoplights. You know what I mean? So I've got like just an amount of time to do this. The Batman on 6S was good, but it was so powerful. It seemed like I was just expending energy. It needs to reach on 6S. And I just had a LiPo fire yesterday, and I lost my charger. It burned up in the fire. This was a real bad LiPo fire, but lucky for me, I never charged without putting my LiPos in the ammo box, and I never charged without being in this room right here where I'm at. And the charger's right over there in my line of sight. So as soon as it caught on fire, at first I was in denial because I had a joint in my hands. So there was smoke from the joint. I had a vape in the other hand. So there was vape in the air, and the smoke from the batteries looked like smoke from the vape. So for the first 2 seconds or so, I was like, but then I smelled it and my eyes started watering. I was like, oh my fucking God, there's a fire over there. I've got a fire extinguisher right there, but I didn't need to use it, thank God. I was able to just shut the lid on the ammo box, take it outside. That's why you charge in, literally the only thing outside of the ammo box was the power cord going to the power inside out. So I was using AC to charge these batteries at 6 amps. It was all my fault. I always charge at 6 amps, and that's risky. I was charging 4 batteries at 6 amps, and one of the batteries didn't like that, and it blew up. My batteries are getting old; they're approaching a year old, all of them. Well, I'm on a budget. I'm not rich, so I had to. I just bought some new batteries and a new LiPo charger. That'll be here tomorrow. I bought some new antennas because some antennas got lost and burnt up. So by the end of this week, I should be where I'm trying to be. I'm trying to only have 5 quads total. You know, I'm not racing multi-GP. I don't need to have 30 quads. It's a lot of stress on me to keep them all running. What I'm going to try to do is sell all these quads, keep 5 for myself, and offer to anybody who's a customer of mine a deal where if you buy a quad from me, I guarantee it like this. If anything goes wrong with it, or if you break it, if you're willing to pay for shipping and the parts to fix it, I will fix it for you because I want it to run right. And to be honest, most of the time, most repairs don't take a lot of time. They don't take an hour. They don't take hours. You know, we're talking 30 minutes or an hour and a half of intermittent work and eating. So I don't mind doing that. I want to spread the hobby to people. As the more people we can get in the hobby, the more likelihood we'll be able to keep the hobby going before they try to shut us down, which always happens in America. Somebody's gonna try to capitalize off of this. Somebody with connections, I mean. But in the meantime, I'm selling all my quads. The only ones I'm keeping are HGLRC Batman and HGLRC XJB 145s. I got one over there. I'm going to spend the rest of the summer just flying those two and see how good I can get at those. The 145, I was getting good at flying that. It's very good stock tune and very good at precise acro flying. I still haven't done any videos with as crazy as shit as I've done with that XJB. You know, I just don't have any confidence in the other quads like that. I got a video with the XJB looping a train trestle, going blind under train trestle, and not, you know, it's a range issue too. It's got great range. And I pulled the tricks off over and over again. This thing is so predictable and repeatable with the sticks. The Batman is close, but it's nowhere near as precise as the 3-inch XJB 145. They really did a good job with that. And the top speed is amazing. I don't have to worry so much about running out of power. I do have to worry about battery sag. Unfortunately, with the XJB 145, I've never had a battery last me more than 2 minutes. 3 minutes if I'm purposely just trying to make it last 3 minutes by holding back. So that sucks. But it's better than the HGLRC Sparrow. I was lucky to get 1 minute battery times with that. And first punch out and your battery sag to critical level. Because those, what is it? The XJB has 1407s. The other ones are, what are they? 1308s? I think the Sparrow had, whatever they are, they're big, tall motors. 1308 sounds right. Notchy. And they suck a battery down like I've never seen a battery get sucked down. And they're on those godforsaken XT30 connectors, so my choice of batteries is like small and small, low C and even lower C. But that's my plan, to only fly those 2 quads, and plus my beater and my long range. I got a King Kong GT 200 and a good old Holy Road Shuriken 250. Those are the two I plan on using for the King Kong for long range, and also the Shuriken for long range too. Um, I might even put a GPS on the Shuriken, but just to limit my number of quads. I really love the full speed leader 120, but I'm going to pass up on that. I cannot deal with those props. I'm just not willing to do that. I mean, the XJV is small and light enough. I'm not worried about it. It's like any smaller, who cares? So I'm going to stick with just those two for the rest of the summer. And anything that I build, I'm going to try to sell. I'm going to try to take a break on building 5 inches for now because nobody's buying them. The 3 inches, I sold like 5 on the first day, and seeing them in people's hands is all the proof. This kid, he's flying it in stabilized mode and everything, but it is perfect for the people who are coming up learning. The Furry VX 140, man, it's like I'm just going to keep building those and variations off of that. I've already gotten, I'd say the most well received, or one that was most talked about, was either the high rates one that had the Sky Stars motors in there, same 3100 kV, but man, there was a lot of subtle differences. And the one with the 2204 motors, I put the 2204 motors on the 3 inch. I think that's the one I want to build. It's just a matter of finding the right motors. I'll probably go with the Hobby Mate frame, which was $12. If I can't find those $3 motors from Banggood, then it kind of ruins the price thing I was doing. But I was able to sell those for $75. But I can't do that without having those $3 motors, and the $3 motors are discontinued now. So don't blame me if the new price is $100 or $125. I don't see any way around it. I'm not going to cut corners like Emax did and put a shit VTX in there that's not much different than saying, here's a kit, finish building this here, or beta tester. I'm going to make sure this thing works. And still try to do it for a reasonable price, because I know they're not going to sell if it is expensive. So I'm trying to sell these for between $75 and $125 max. My cat's not too bright. He's about to knock himself out. There you go, buddy. You're safe. So yeah, I've had too many quads lately, but excuse me, having the Batman will allow me to do 4, 5, and 6S on one quad, the XJB 145, and then the King Kong GT and the Holy Brochure. That's all I need right there, and a Nano. So I'll probably get something under 180 millimeters. But I'm looking for something that has non-fiddly props. So maybe I'll skip that because I'm trying to get away from that. I love the full speed leader 120. It's the tightest on rails quad I have, but changing props is just, I don't look forward to that. And it causes me to make dumb choices, like leaving these props on there for so long. So anyway, and I really look forward to clearing out my workspace and not having so much stuff. When you have 30 different quads, you've got spare parts bins for all that. It's not, I don't like it. So cleaning this place up. But today I got to start with the replacement of the VTX and Well, obviously, I'm going to start with putting a new receiver in my brand new plug and play Batman here. From there, I'll do the BTX on the Hawk 5. And after that, I'm going to take a break and go fly. But I still have so much work to do. Mainly, I'm just going to post these sales on here. So I will see you later. Have a nice day.